Bendiciones, mi gente. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, your favorite mystical person here on the internet with another video for you guys. In this video, I'm talking more about 2025 and I'm diving deeper into the exciting transits that are coming next year. So if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into this video. Okay, so let's do a little 2025 vibe check. Let's see what the vibes are. So the vibes that I get for 2025 is just a very youthful kind of vibe, because one of the things that I notice about the transits that are taking place next year is that they're going to be in like the youthful signs. So when I'm talking about the planets, I'm going to be talking about Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter, because we have the signs changing in these planets. So they're going to be in more like of the youthful signs, and it really makes a lot of sense, because these past 4 years have felt like super heavy for a lot of us collectively. That's because a lot of the transits that we were having were in like elder signs like Aquarius, Capricorn, those kinds of energies. And while we'll still have Aquarius energy in the air with Pluto in Aquarius and the North Node going into Pisces in January, predominant planets that affect the collective are going to be in youthful signs. The youthful signs are like more so like Aries, Cancer, Gemini. These signs bring about freshness, newness, play, fun, excitable, lively energy. And I'm not saying like elder signs aren't excitable or any of that. It's just a lot of the elder signs in astrology, they deal more so with like endings and karma and release. So it could feel a little bit more heavy. When we're diving in more of the earlier signs in astrology, this brings about a lot of new beginnings. Okay, so next year, I just feel like it's gonna feel a lot lighter for us. Okay, because we've done all the deep spiritual work and release. A lot of the shifts don't start until after the spring equinox gets initiated. So the spring equinox next year, it starts March 20th, and the first shift actually starts in January with the North Node. I have a full video dedicated to my predictions on the North Node in Pisces transit. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out, and I will leave a link for that video in the description so you guys could go ahead and watch it. That will lead us into the first big shift, starting with Neptune in Aries, and this takes place on March 30th. We're gonna see a lot of illusions dissolving with Neptune in Aries, okay? And a lot of the illusions that have surrounded our identities, based off of what society has told us that we should be, we should think, and, how we should define ourselves. We've allowed ourselves to have these illusions casted around our identity. And a lot of these illusions have to do with like materialism or like certain labels that we put on ourselves that really aren't in alignment with who we are. Because remember, Aries is about the self, your identity, who you are. The illusions are going to dissolve and just completely fall away. And this will allow us to see ourselves clearly. There's a lot of people in this world that still don't realize how magical we are, how gifted we are. And that's because they're still stuck in that 3D illusion, okay? This third dimension is a whole illusion, from the value system, from the narratives, from the labels, and all of that stuff. All this stuff hasn't allowed us to see ourselves clearly, okay, and recognize our gifts, recognize our magic. These things haven't truly allowed us to align ourselves to our divine purpose. Why? Because they're just distractions. A lot of the distractions are just going to fall away. You can't hide from yourself next year, okay? Like, next year is going to force you to face the truth of who you are, okay, and really get to know who you truly are and be able to see yourself clearly. When I say see yourself clearly, I mean like being able to see your spirit, your essence, okay? This will allow us to live in our truth and be more authentic and really be in alignment with what we truly desire and what our true purpose is. That leads me into the next transit, which is Saturn in Aries. With Saturn in Aries, this is basically reinforcing what I was saying earlier with Neptune in Aries. It's just going to amplify it even more, where there is just going to be this clarity around self and having to face the truth about yourself. With Saturn in Aries, this is going to have you cut away those illusions that I was talking about earlier. Okay, so it's just really just having a reality check on self for all of us. There have been a lot of us over the years that have been doing the spiritual work, but I do see more of a mass awakening. A lot of people are going to be working on themselves, and working on themselves in the sense of like the internal side of yourself. This is going to have a lot of people become, I would say, better human beings, really, because it's just like the last 4 years have been a shit show. And I will say, like, 2024 has been wild. Like, people out here wilding for real. Like, it's just been insane. So, a lot of people will start to do the inner work on themselves to really foster a healthy sense of self and a realistic view of self as well. Because again, we've been in this age of illusions for eons. Like, they've done a good job of like taking us away from our power and really just repressing our gifts because they've just had us distracted. Okay, so Saturn in Aries is going to have all of us have that reality check and really just face ourselves and face the truth of ourselves and really just be honest with ourselves. Another thing that I foresee with Saturn in Aries is just having more responsibility on ourselves. For too long, we've been way too dependent on the people that shouldn't be in power. Saturn in Aries is going to have us take more responsibility for ourselves, take matters into our own hands. And we've been starting to see a little bit of that this year, but it's going to be full force next year because these people are just really going to amp up the shenanigans next year to where we collectively, we're just going to be tired and we're going to be like, you know what, if they're not going to initiate change, then we're going to take it upon ourselves to do it. Taking the focus off of the people that shouldn't be in power and focusing it back on what's going on around us. Okay, not only what's going on internally of us, but also what's going on around us, who's around us, you know what I'm saying? So again, this goes back to cutting out the illusions, things that aren't real. So that even means relationships. The next transit of 2025 that's going to be huge, which is Jupiter in Cancer. I'm actually really looking forward to this one. This one is going to be super sweet, very sweet, because Jupiter is essentially going to finally bring the tribes together. I just see in 2025 overall, like, we're just going to be in more of this tribal mentality where it's like we're going to want to like connect with each other more. I feel like for the past 4 years, we've been so distant. When it comes to relationships, like, things have been in shambles, and that's because we were going through a big transformation when it comes to finding those real relationships, really connecting with people who really match us energetically. Okay, so this is why a lot of relationships failed, and just a lot of people were just more distant, not seeing eye to eye. These transits have been forcing us to really get real with ourselves and really only entertain things if it's authentic. If you've been like, where's my soul tribe, where's my community, all of that, Jupiter in Cancer got you. Jupiter in Cancer got you. Okay, finally, right? Like, we've been like waiting on this because we've been hearing about it, like, okay, like soul tribes are going to be manifesting, blah blah blah, right? And it's just like, okay, when is it happening? It's happening. Pluto in Aquarius has been highlighting this for us collectively, our deep soul desires, and what we deeply desire is connection. And it's really embedded in our DNA, all of us, that we're tribal creatures. We're not meant to live too individualistic, okay? And I feel like this is how this society has been setting us up to not live in our true nature. This is how the ancients were functioning. They were functioning in community. It's gonna bring a big healing when it comes to all of us collectively, to where we could live more harmoniously on this earth, because I just feel like, again, things have just been chaotic, and of course things aren't going to be perfect. There's always going to be that shadow side. Things aren't going to be like this utopia, but I will say things are going to feel significantly better as far as how we interact with each other, okay, and how we're connecting with each other. This transit is going to essentially bring back the love in the air, okay? Like, we need more love, and I'm not talking just like romantically. We've been missing that brotherly, sisterly love, you know, even just amongst like friends, is really just feeling that kind of community. And I wanted to throw this in as a little bit of a side note. As far as like inflation goes and like housing, I will say whatever Jupiter touches, it expands. So Cancer is a sign that has to do with the home, okay? So this could most likely indicate that housing prices could get a lot more expensive. So just FYI, just see like more of like a skyrocket when it comes to like communal living. Okay, so it's just like Jupiter in Cancer can do that. Next year, it's going to allow people to be able to step outside themselves and ask for help, or, you know, collaborate more. That leads me into the last big transit of 2025. Uranus in Gemini is going to be very interesting. Like, that's going to be a whole lot. Like, Uranus and Gemini, that's going to be a whole lot. But Uranus and Gemini is going to be working hand in hand with Pluto and Aquarius, amplifying our need for more community, tribe, and just overall just more being more social. I see like next year in 2025 it's just going to be more of a social time, to where it's just like, okay, like we're tired of like the distancing from each other. We've done the big release when it comes to, okay, having to distance ourselves from people that truly don't match our values and just who we are, or even, you know, who aren't supportive of our purpose or what makes us happy, right? We've done that inner work. We're gonna finally find those people that really truly see us for who we truly are, who are very supportive of us, you know, just a lot of just meeting of the minds, like-mindedness next year. So I do love that for us. And it's gonna be a time where it's like people are just gonna want to network more. This is perfect for like networking, just overall socializing. Like, it's gonna be a very friendly time. New starts when it comes to relationships, work, all of these things. We're just gonna get a fresh start. I'm not saying that there isn't gonna be romance here and there, but I feel like there's just gonna be less focus on romance and more focus on like just friendship. Okay, let's just get back to friendship. I feel like that is a very essential foundation when it comes to relationships, is the friendship. That shows whether or not like you guys truly match each other. You know, how are you two as friends? What do you guys really have in common? Brotherhood, sisterhood. We're gonna see a lot more of that. 2025 is just gonna be a time where we just get back to that innocence again. Not everything has to be so serious all the time. Tap back into that playful energy. Next year is going to be a time of great change, to where the frequency is going to shift completely next year. Okay, so we're going to be in a completely new world next year. So it's going to be another one of those energetic shifts. So keep up. Earth's frequency is getting even higher. It's important for us to lighten our energy as well. Okay, and we're gonna find, now that we've cleared a lot of the karmic issues that we've had and that we've been working through and struggling through for the past few years, or even more than that, it's gonna feel so much lighter. And it's going to allow us to be more flexible. It's going to allow us to, you know, move a little bit more freely. I really look forward to next year. Next year is definitely going to be very divine. That is all I have for this 2025 transit overview. I hope you guys found this insightful, and I hope this gets you guys ready for 2025. It's definitely going to be a dynamic year, and it's definitely going to do good things for all of us collectively. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you guys are interested in booking a reading with me specifically for the 2025 transits. You could get your personal horoscope on my website, Cosmic Star Astrology. Welcome to 2025, and I wish all of you luck, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.